I want to quickly go through the task, right, and leave this up as a video just so that you can go back and have a look at it. The dates are to come. That'll be confirmed on Monday, but we're looking at week 10 of term, right? With the draft due in, again, I'm not so sure about the 11s, but with the 12s, the draft due in before you do QCS exam. And it may be one of those where I say if there's a little bit missing in the draft, it's not a big deal. Okay, I might consider a full draft, the business idea, the human resource management, the operations management, but if you're still getting through the feasibility, which is like the judgment of it, I might not be as concerned about that. Right? And I'll put those things in. Right? No. No. I just took that from your history one, right? Not from your history one, from your multimodal presentation, right? Okay, here's what we're doing. We're looking at small business as a topic, and we'll give you a little bit more information on that. But you guys, the core thing is a small business. We're going to talk about a business with 20 or less employees. Right, so you know the ballpark there. And we're going to look at marketing. We've been started to look at some marketing stuff in terms of where our product fits on the basis of price and quality. And we're going to look at operations management second. And I think the best thing is to try and stay up. You're thinking of starting a business and you're going to develop the business idea and you're going to turn this into a feasibility study. Will your business be successful? Now here's the key thing, right? This is the money point. If you come up with a business idea and you think that it will not work, then that's cool. Right? There's no marks for whether your business idea is a good idea or a bad idea. Right? If you get through the feasibility study and say, no, it's not going to be able to do it because of these reasons, it's not wise to do it, then that's great too. Okay, so don't think you've got to come up with a great idea. You come up with an idea and then you're examining it, right, to see whether it's worth or not. Right. You're going to gather some data on the proposed small business. So primary research, secondary research is usually pretty easy. You might do things like ABS research about census data, for example. You might do some research about businesses in the industry. Let's say you want to start a cafe, you do some research on other cafes. Primary research, though, that might be doing a little survey of people who might be potential customers of your business. That might be going around and getting information about your competitors. So primary is things that you do yourself. Right? I've put a SWOT analysis in there. I think you're probably going to want to use a SWOT analysis, but you better students will use other analysis tools. And I've already given you the Porter's 5 forces to make decision, and that one from the last lesson where we looked at price and quality and competitors. So they're the sort of things. After each of those, right, after each time you use a tool like that, think about the money question. Right? So what? What are the issues that come from this? Okay, your study will describe the proposed business and the marketing and operations management plan. Right? Think about the SWOT, identify some issues. Analyse the issues and how they're going to link to the efficiency and effectiveness of the business. Evaluate the proposed business and decide whether it's feasible and explain why. So the Porter's 5 forces would be a great model to use and say, well, when I look at this industry using Porter 5 forces, I find that it's a pretty unattractive industry. And that might be part of your argument, not your whole argument, but part of your argument. Okay. And then I've gone into what a feasibility study is. Now, two little things. Right? You can use bullet points and diagrams and charts. But this is from the syllabus. Right? It is not appropriate for terms to be defined within this technique. So you don't have to say, oh, I'm using market segmentation, and market segmentation means whatever it is, right? You don't have to do that. We'll know that you know what market segmentation is because you're going to use it in context. Okay. So don't feel that, and don't feel that you can use appendices. You cannot use appendices. Right? So the word count up to 1,500 formally for year 12 and 1,000 for year 11. Right? Now I don't count, okay, precisely, but you don't want to go over, right? You should be able to get an A in 1,500 words. Okay. So, and we go through the criteria. Let's look at a standard B. Okay. You're going to have to do use of business management terms, concepts, and theories. Remember, We're not going to be defining them, but we're going to be using those terms. That's going to be pretty comfortable. Detailed description of business situations using a range of examples, right? I love business examples. We talk about it a lot. Right? So if you're doing something and you know another business has done it, use that as an example. And detailed explanation of management processes and strategies. This will be your marketing strategy and your operation management strategy. How detailed are your explanations? Selection and organisation of business information from primary and secondary sources. So you're going to have to do some research around maybe your target market, maybe your competitors, and put that together. This is where we talk about the SWOT analysis. Then thinking about the issues that come out of this analysis around here, and analysis of business strategies, and interpretation of a range of trends, patterns, and relationships. So relationships might be thinking about how you're going to work with your competitors. Trends might be population, might be a change in the number of people who are interested in something, right? As an example, right, I looked at my example of the miniature drone skywriting. Well, I could go and look at the trends on advertising spend by businesses. Are people spending more or less money on advertising? What does that mean for my business? Another pattern that might be happening is you might see, well, around the world, we're seeing that drones are being more highly regulated. Right? So that might be a problem for the business. So seeing those sort of things. And then lastly, you come to evaluating and communicating. Well, the last one, clear communication with appropriate language. Okay. Don't want to hear anyone use the word fully sick to justify a good idea. Right. Justifications of recommendations. Evaluation of management strategies of valid to formulate valid recommendations, right? So that's your recommendation around, is this going to be a good plan or not, right? This is your feasibility stuff. And justifying your recommendation, okay? Are there any questions about that?
Yeah.